Hi Nick, how are you doing?
Good, good. So how's the market been for the past month?
It's been picking up a little bit. There's been some changes. Definitely not back to normal or our normal of the spring market, but
Yeah,
there's been some changes, and I'm happy to talk to you about those today.
fantastic. Yeah, we met almost 1 month ago,
Yeah.
and we did a very similar video to what the market was doing in March. So let's briefly talk about what happened in April.
Fantastic. Okay. How are you finding it for your business? How has the last month changed your business?
Um, it's definitely been a change, and we've had to communicate a lot with our clients, both buyers and sellers. Um, Anytime we want, or anytime there's showings for our listings, or we have to show buyers, a lot of agents and companies now require us to sign a COVID-19 waiver or liability form. That's kind of step one to get in the door. um, and we have to take other precautions such as wearing gloves, wearing masks, using hand sanitizer. um, and for us, yeah, it's different, and we're fortunate where a lot of our clients have bought into it and they understand the situation. So that's changed in a big way. Um, I think the great thing about just being a human being is that we can adapt to any situation. Um, we've done a large innovation through technology in terms of having Zoom meetings and doing FaceTime with our clients. We've had to sign paperwork digitally through DocuSign, Fentasign, which we were doing before, but it's definitely become more dominant today. We've done virtual tours, which a lot of us agents have done previously, but it's just the norm now. We've also been doing virtual open houses, which I think is going to carry over into the future as well. So we've definitely had to adapt and communicate a lot to our clients about what we need to do now and going forward. So yeah, a bit of a change, but it's what you have to do right now. So
Fantastic. Yeah, lots of changes on the broker side as well. We are also adapting to digital signatures. Now, lenders do want the clients to actually sign, whether that's on their iPad or on their phone, but they are accepting them, which is nice because they weren't. It wasn't something that they were accepting before. And what I'm seeing as well for the people that are making offers, it's kind of become the norm again to have subjects to financing because people are aware that lenders are taking longer to approve a file. Lenders are reviewing all income documents prior to issuing a commitment to us. So there's definitely a lot more looking into the file, looking into the income, verifying everything on their end, which of course takes longer for the approval process. And I'm really happy that when we do get accepted offers, the clients and of course realtors, they factor that in as well, and they include the usually 5 days subject removal for us to get that done.
okay, excellent. So you haven't really seen a change in terms of like a longer subject removal time. Do you recommend asking for a longer subject removal, or can we still get away with 7 to 10 days?
I think that's a really good question, Nick. The only time, I mean, me and every other broker, we love longer subject removals. The longer, the better. But
Yeah.
the only time that I actually end up getting that is outside of the like Greater Vancouver area. So, I had a couple files in Squamish, and their subject removals were longer, so it's nice. Um, I don't think we need that much of a longer subject removal unless we're going for a specialty product. So if the product is something that, needs to get approval by head office, or we need to ask for exceptions, then of course always a longer subject removal is better. But if you're getting the standard, I think I'm pretty happy with a 5 day subject removal, and I think most brokers would be as well, 5 to 7 days. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you finding the inspectors? And I think, like you said, you're still going in, and your clients are going in with gloves and masks. Um, how about the home inspectors? What are they doing for their process to get in?
They're doing very similar to what we're doing. They're taking all the precautions necessary. Um, I think for the most part, they would rather go into the home alone, to do their inspection with no distractions, and just for safety issues as well. You know, they're going in all covered up with masks and gloves, and with all their equipment that they need for a regular inspection. Um, yeah, so they've had to make slight changes just the way we have, um, and that's fine. You know, they're still considered part of the real estate industry, and they're an essential service, and we're very grateful for them to be able to still work and to help our clients out. So
That's great. On my end, the appraisals are not going into the property, so that's kind of interesting. What they're doing is they're making the best effort to see the property from the outside. So they'll go to site, they'll see the property, they'll take pictures from the outside, and they'll either do a conference call, a Zoom call, FaceTime with the tenant or the resident, the owner that's living there, and they're asking for pictures and videos. So what's happening is sometimes we can't get exact values for the appraisal because they're not going in. So there might be a little bit of a range. This hasn't been an issue yet, but if, for example, if someone is refinancing a property or maybe a purchase and we're really tight with the number that we need for that refinance, we might be able to only provide a range because the appraisals aren't going in. But like I said, that hasn't been an issue so far because people have been very good about providing good videos, good photos, and the measurements and everything those are the standard data that the appraisal has access to.
excellent. Um, I'm sure you've seen a change in the overall marketplace from March to April. Can you comment on kind of what you've seen, or give some specifics?
Absolutely. So in March, I think when we last did the video, there was so much fear and there was so much uncertainty. So many people had kind of backed off and they're holding off on purchasing or looking. Some of those people are back in the market now. I think there's a little bit more consumer confidence. There's a little bit more maybe confidence with their jobs. Not everyone, and I don't think we'll go back to our normal anytime soon, like we were talking before. But there's been some activity, and it's definitely been picking up. But I would say that people are still cautious. They're doing everything you're doing. Lenders are really cautious. They're still very cautious. Um, Everything on our end and the lender's end is just getting triple checked and making sure that all the documents are there. People are still in their jobs. So that's one of the big things.
There's definitely been a big change in the marketplace, but you know what? It's what we all expected.
Mhm.
Um, we knew a slowdown was coming, for April, and sure enough, the stats don't lie. If you look at the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, the overall sales were down from April compared to March by 56%. So it's a huge drop. Unfortunately, a lot of people left, the so-called market, because maybe they lost their job, the uncertainty, as you said. But a lot of people took a step back and said, you know what, let's just wait, see how this plays out, and then we'll come back. And like I said, it's exactly kind of what we expected. We had planned for it. We adapted just like anything else. Um, so the question is, well, what's going to happen going forward? Um, in terms of prices per se, they haven't dropped too much. At the same time, they haven't increased either. They kind of remained stable. Um, so because you've had buyers taken out of the market, you've also had sellers that have either taken their property off the market or who had originally planned to list in April, being the heart of the spring season, they've chosen to wait. And we have clients that are also in that position. They're just kind of waiting. So going forward now, with the news yesterday that the premier gave in terms of reopening up the economy or society in general, I know from talking to family, friends, clients, a lot of people are getting a little stir crazy. And with the nice weather, they do want to get out there. They do want to get out and have their normal lives back again. So we should see definitely an uptick in terms of buyers entering the market again, and also sellers. So that's ultimately what I see happening. We'll do the video again a month from now and have that conversation, and we'll see if I'm right. But how do you see things playing out over the next month?
Compared to last month, and if we're looking at just the past, kind of preparing for the future, I think that things are going to start to get better for the people that are still in their jobs, or they have the confidence that they'll remain in their jobs. Like you said, I think there's going to be not so much a wave of people, but there's going to be people that were kind of holding off. They'll be entering the market once again. I do see that.
Yeah, absolutely. As we start to reopen the economy, there's not going to be a flood of people, wanting to, go to their barber or hair salon or go to their favorite restaurant. I think it's going to be a slow go, and that can be said for the real estate market in general. People want to kind of see what's happening. They want to hear from us, people that are on the front lines that do this every single day, and we know what's happening. And again, we were communicating with our clients and perhaps over communicating, but I think that's important at this time. A, just to make sure that they're doing okay, and two, to make sure that they understand of what the market conditions are and what their plans are going forward too.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Nick. This was very, very insightful, and I'm glad you made the time to chat.
Thank you, Atrina. I appreciate it anytime. And yeah, we'll definitely do this again next month. And I'm sure we'll have some more news then.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. And you have a great rest of your sunny day.
You as well.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.